back with the second technique video for the Knots and Dots Pullover Knit Along, which I'm running with LoveCrafts from October 27th through December 31st, 2022. I know a lot of you have started the pattern, and we are going to be working now with cables for the shoulder panels. The sweater is constructed from these cable panels. There's two of them. The front is worked down, the back is worked down from the sides of the panel, and then their fronts and backs are joined to knit in the round, and then stitches are picked up along the armhole across the stitches, which we're going to leave on hold for the cable panel, and then down the other side of the back to work the sleeve circularly. The cable, which you see here, is worked from the shoulders all the way down to the cuffs of the sleeves. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be showing you how to knit cables without a cable needle. Of course, you can use a cable needle if you like, but for me, it goes a little bit faster if I don't use the cable needle. Having that fiddly third needle sometimes interferes with the speed at which I can comfortably work. So right now, I'm going to show you the chart. The instructions for the cable are charted and written, so no worries if you don't use a chart. I've said in previous videos, though, that I like to use a chart because I can see what's happening with my stitches. So you can see I've worked up to row 26, and I am on row 27 here. So I'm just going to hide row 27 because we're about to work that row and just show you how you can see your stitches clearly in the chart. So you can see there's cables here, which are here. Then this pattern starts to go out and in towards another set of cables here, and then out and in towards another set of cables, and now they're moving out again. There are 6 different cables in the chart, which is shown on the key. So there's a 2/3 left cross, a 2/3 right cross, a 2/1 left cross, a 2/1 right cross, and then there's these purl crosses, 2/1 purl cross and 2/1 left purl cross. Most of the time, cables are worked knits over knits, but in order to keep this background texture, which is what I love about this particular cable in pattern, we're going to have to do these 2/1 purl crosses. So I'm going to be demonstrating each type, not in the order that you see them on the chart, but in the order that they appear as I'm working. So you can see that I'm ready to work row 27, and these 2 cables are a 2/1 left purl cross and 2/1 right purl. 2/1 left cross and 2/1 right cross. There are no purl stitches involved in row 27 in the cables. And you can see that because, let me see if I can just grab a pin so I can show you. These 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, there are no purls that appear here. So you can see that this is this cable. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put my chart to the side. And I've done this pattern a number of times, so I'm familiar with it. The chart, though, is right to my right-hand side, just in case I need to refer back to it. So it starts with 2 purl stitches, and then 2 knit stitches, and then the texture, which is purl, knit, purl. And now we're ready to work the left cross, the 2/1 left cross. When stitches go to the left in cables, the first stitches on the needle here are held at the front. So we don't have a cable needle, but we want to still keep these 2 stitches to the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach around the back and we're going to slip this 3rd stitch purlwise onto our right hand needle. And we're going to slide. We're going to slide these off, all 3 of them off the left hand needle now. You can see these 2 are just hanging out here. They're not really moving. This is superwash yarn, so if it doesn't move here, it's not going to move. With sticky yarn, cotton holds very well if it's not mercerized. And we're going to just slide them back on our left needle, then slide that stitch that we had slipped onto our left needle, and now we're just going to knit them. If you've knit cables before, you will know that the only thing about cables is that the stitches are reordered. It is not difficult to work cables, although it does look intricate to people who don't knit them or people who are non-knitters. Now we have a purl, again the textured background, a knit, and a purl. And now we're going to do a right cross, a 2/1 right cross. So when we want to go right, we're going to hold the first stitches in the back of our work if we had a cable needle, but we don't. So we're going to skip that first stitch so it actually moves to the back, and we're going to slip the next 2 stitches purlwise onto our right hand needle, and then we're going to slide the stitches off. We're going to grab that loose stitch with our left needle, and then we're going to put the stitches we slipped back on the left needle, and we're going to work them. We're just going to knit them. And we're going to finish that row. So we have a purl, knit, purl, 2 knits, and 2 purls. I'm going to take a look at that, and you can see that the stitches are moving left and moving right. No purl needle and no cable needle involved. So I'm going to do the wrong side, which is, because of the texture pattern, that relatively simple. It starts with 2 knits, and then we just purl across until we get to the last 2 stitches. So it's really important to slip your stitches purlwise, because that will prevent them from twisting at the bottom when you work them. So the only time, the default is to slip stitches as if to purl, unless the instructions say otherwise. So that comes up a lot about how to slip stitches, but you always want to slip them as if to purl. So these last 2 are knit stitches, and then we're going to come around to see our work. So the stitches are moving left and right. Okay, let's look at the next row. The next row, which is row 29, has a 2/1 left purl cross and a 2/1 right purl cross. So we can see from the key here and here, here and here, that you can see that that little tiny dot indicates that the stitch behind should be purled. So they're still moving. Sorry about the sliding circular needle on the desktop. So we're going to start with 2 purls. We're going to do 2 knits. We're going to do that texture pattern behind. So purl, knit, purl, knit, and now we're ready for the cable. Same way, so we're going to start this cable the same way. We want the cable to move left, which means the first stitches have to remain in the front. So we're going to go to that third stitch behind. We're going to slide it under the stitch purlwise, and then we're going to slide the stitches off, and we're going to put them on the left needle. I'm working kind of in slow motion here because I want you to see it, but you can, as long as you grab them, all the strands, you're good. And then I'm going to take that stitch I slipped and I'm going to put it back onto the left hand needle without twisting it. So now to work this cable, we're going to have to purl that stitch behind and then knit the 2 stitches in front. Then we have a knit stitch, and now we're going to work a right purl cross, 2 over 1 right purl cross. So just like we did with the right cross, we want, if we're going right, we want the first stitches to stay in the back. So we're going to go push this to the back, and we're going to skip that first stitch, and we're going to slide the right hand needle under the second and third stitches purlwise. We're going to push them on the right hand needle. Now we're going to slide them off. Sometimes it helps to pinch if you feel like it's going to get lost, and then just put that right back on the left hand needle. And now put the stitches that you slipped without twisting back on the left hand needle. And now knit 2 and purl the stitch that's behind. And then knit, purl, knit, purl, knit 2, and purl 2. So you can see we're keeping them all in pattern, so that pattern, that textured pattern, stays knits and purls, but the cable is moving to the left, this one, and to the right. So let's do a wrong side row. So it's just knit 2, purl across, and I think all of the wrong side rows, the middle stitches are all purled, so you don't have to worry about keeping them in pattern, although the edge stitches vary between starting with 2 knits, 3 knits, 4 knits, and 5 knits. But those middle stitches are always purled. Okay. So we've completed rows 29 and 30, and you can again see how that cable is shaping up. So let's take a look at the chart again. We are up to row 31, and you can see that right now we're going to do a 2 over 3 right cross. So 2 stitches are going to go over 3 stitches. So it's going to involve 5 stitches. So let's put this aside. Okay, we start out the same way, 2 purls. Two knits, and then we're going to do the texture, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, And now we're up to that 5-stitch cable. So it's going to involve these 5 stitches. Now some people will tell you that you can't do more than a 4-stitch cable without a cable needle. Not true. I would say, depending on the weight of the yarn, you could do up to a 6-stitch cable. If you're really brave, you might try even 8. So what we're going to do is we want this cable to be 2 stitches over 3, and then we want them to go right, which means that these 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, the first stitches have to go to the back of the work. So in order to go right, the first stitches have to go back. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the front of the work because we want to push these stitches to the back. The yarn is still all the way behind my left hand needle, and I want to slip these 2 stitches to my right hand needle. And you can just now slide the stitches off. Now when you get to the tip, you might want to pinch again, just to keep them from going anywhere. Just pinch those stitches and put them back on your needle. Try not to split the stitches, and then slip those stitches that you initially slipped, and put them back on the left needle. So you've reordered the stitches now, and we're just going to knit those stitches. So 1, 2, and these are the 3, 4, 5 behind stitches. And then we're going to finish the row by doing the texture, purl, knit, 2, purl 2, and you can see that I have 2 stitches going over 3 stitches, and the stitches in the front are moving to the right. Okay, I'm going to work a wrong side row. So again, 2 knits, purl all the way across, and again, there's only 23 stitches here. So these initial cable panels go pretty fast, which I'm always excited when I start a new sweater, and to do cables, really, it gets the fire started. So then we're going to just knit those last 2 and take a look. So you can see now we've completed the entire diamond in here, which is the entire diamond in here, what you're seeing in here. And you can see, if we look at the next rows, you can see that we're up to actually row 33 here. We have a 2/1 right purl cross here and here, and here, over here, and over here we have a 2/1 right purl cross. Did I say right here? I meant left, sorry. 2/1 right purl cross here. We have a 2/3 right cross here, and then, you know, the same thing in the middle over here. We have 2/1 left cross, 2/1 right purl cross, 2/1 left purl cross, 2/1 left purl cross, 2/1 right purl cross, and then we have 2/3 left cross, which is the only cable that we have not done yet. So I'm going to take a little break here, and I'm going to come back when I'm up to row 39. I'm back ready to work the last 2 rows of the chart, rows 39 and 40. So you can see that these are the only cables that I haven't done in the video, the 2/3 left crosses. So I'm going to show you how to do those. There are 2 of them in this row, so you'll get an opportunity to see it twice. So we're going to purl 5. These traveling cables have moved away from the edges, so that's why there's purl 5 now instead of purl 2, and we're ready to work the first 2/3 left cross. Now remember, in order for stitches to move left, the first stitches have to be at the front of the work. So these first stitches are the 2 stitches that are going to be moving, but I want to grab those 3 stitches in the back. So skip the first 2, slide your needle under those 3 stitches, and just pull off. And you're going to grab those 2 stitches that are left with your left needle. Just put them back on, and then put the stitches onto your left needle. And these are all knits, so we reordered them, now we're just going to knit them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there's some texture in the middle, so purl it, purl, and now we have another left leaning cross. So we're going to skip again the first stitches because we want those to be in the front. We're going to go into the back of the following 3 as if to purl. We're going to put those on our right needle, and we're going to slide off. And then we're going to take the left needle, and then we're going to put them in the front. You can see I'm doing that really slow. They're not going to go anywhere. And then slide those 3 stitches back to the left needle, and we're going to knit those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to purl the last 5. I'm going to do the wrong side row so we can actually complete a full repeat of the cable panel. As I said, depending on the size that you're doing, you have to knit a certain number of rows in this cable panel. Most of the sizes have a full or close to a full repeat of these 40 rows. Oops. I'm just purling across until we get to the last 5 stitches. I'll let you take a look. I'm going to knit those last 5. And we're going to take a look at the cable. I'm going to show you the chart. And you can see, although the piece of knitting is smaller than the chart, it is the chart. You can see I'll center it in the middle. So you can see that is the picture of the chart. So if you have the pattern, if you've downloaded the pattern, look for an update to get to this video and all the other videos that are going to be in here. And if you want to be alerted to when we have a new video for the Knots and Dots Pullover, subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked it, and leave a comment in the description, in the box below. All the links to the Knots and Dots Pullover knit along are in the box below, so just click the link below and you'll be taken to all the links for the yarn, the pattern, and all the directions on how to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.